guys, sorry for the late recap. I was dealing with a bunch of shit. Alright, where are we? We are. Do we have one freaking setup on our hands? I tell ya. Feel alive yet? Alright, we gotta backtrack here a little. This is that coil, death candle, make a bunch of money. Bull flag breaks out. Bull flag invalidates. Abandoned sheep, absolute degenerate psychopaths buy this dip here because it ain't retail, it is market makers and us basically, and we rip up here and it's like, you know what, when they're bringing out the hors d'oeuvres and they're like, hey, this shrimp cocktail is fresh. That happened. Now let me just switch over to SPX here. Same setup, right? Last time we undercut this happened, right? But tomorrow is a Friday, but this is a identical setup. So next time you see boom, 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 3 of those, boom, 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 3 of those, boom, 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 3 of those, you know it's time to put on them speedos. I remember, and I was like, you know, that looks so familiar. Where have I seen that before? And yeah, it was when we were doing this boom, 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 poof, right? Boom, 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 poof. This is the post-election setup. That is, it's the same as, it's the post-election algo is back. And I remember thinking that shit was absolutely extreme to trade. And it's because they've turned it on again. Do I now think that we're gonna get this at some point? Probably yes. And Double J actually had yesterday posted a overlay he's working on. Maybe he messaged it to me. Yeah, he messaged it to me. And that shit has this occurring very, very soon. And if they've turned this on again, and we are heading into a tariff Supreme Court hearing, could it be definitely something to stick on that fucking post-it note somewhere? But that doesn't help us tomorrow. I will explain tomorrow. Premiums are whacked for tomorrow. Now, in trading, there's something that sticks with you and some things don't. One thing that sticks to me is that whenever our dear member Drac posts a ghost candle, 10 out of 10 times they hit. Okay, so because we've found support here, and this is a classic, let me put on the 4 hour and you will see. Actually, let me go to US 500, you can see better. Since this is a classic, and if you're new, this is something I have come up with. It's called 2 scoops. Remember when everybody was outraged about 2 scoops? 2 scoops means that you make an inverted head and shoulders. You don't make the next shoulders because you got 2 scoops of ice cream. And you say, fuck everybody. However, it is very hard to spot, but it does return back. So here we are, right? We have support here, boom. There's the gap fill. We were filling gaps like fucking we'd gone to Home Depot to buy gap filler today, okay? and you have it there, and you go back and oh yeah, it's right there, and it's fucking right there, and it's right there where that big cell was from, and it was right there, boom, boom, boom. So this red line here, known as point of control, is of interest. Okay, fantastic, now we know that. Let's check in on our little friend here. Whew, that is quite the reject, right? So what can we determine? Well, if the cell is to pick up steam, you need to undercut this trend line. And where does it go next? Well, let's switch over to SPY, since most of you are familiar with SPY, and I can prove my point here a little bit better. We have a phantom right here. Okay, boom, half moon, and SPY's point of control is here, and we got something cooking right there. So if the sell is to continue, you need it to do it straight out of the gate, favorably to gap under today's low. Why is that? Well, let me ask you this. You're fucking selling because shit sucks so hard. But somebody, we had the gap marked, comes in 3 times to save it. Okay, and right now after hours you're actually right here. So, can the sell continue? Yes. Do you short it if you don't get confirmation by undercutting today's low? No, you don't. Okay, the reason is Cody had posted, he had looked at the dark pool orders, and there's been fucking mega selling, like 38 prints. However, today those prints, those 5 prints were buys. Okay, so it's been determined that they were buys. Okay, so what do I do with all this info? Well, just like I said that these US 500 gaps that filled today and QQQ filled today, fill within 9 to 12 days, it was fucking swift this time. Okay, so let's see. We got ourselves, we're just gonna take that off because we're gonna redraw it. Okay, if tomorrow is a bullish day, I am going to proclaim that by Monday you are right up where you started selling from. Okay, I'm even gonna go as far as say you're at 684, because that is where the ghost is from. Yeah. Okay. Why is that? Well, if you do not get continuation tomorrow by fucking waterfall shooting water, because you're in India and they said, oh, very good, and you're in a you know, you're laying on the floor, right? Because it's just ass, and you go hit here or here. It's either here or here. Now, premiums for tomorrow indicate that you are fucking going downtown. Okay, because upside is super juiced. The only reason upside could still be in play and still be juiced if they're just going to absolutely crush the VIX tomorrow. Okay, and they bring price and they like put a compressor on the whole thing. So I'm old enough to remember this shit here, where we had Thursday sell, it was looking good, and then oh, pre-market, here I'm still sleeping, drill that shit, drill that shit more. If I can buy calls here tomorrow or here, I'm fucking full porting in the money for Monday, Tuesday, literally straight up, no questions asked. Okay, why is that? Let me ask you this. Why the fuck would you come and buy a bunch of dark pool here? Okay, second of all, if that is true and we don't take out lows tomorrow, guess what? This is a falling wedge. This is not, again, This is not, and again, you've traded them too, but just for reference, let's go back here. Ding 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 ding. This is panic. Okay, it's like, what the fuck's going on? Okay, again, this is like, see here, it's giving me that controlled selling vibe again, just because it's a computer game, right? So again, I think this is a money-making opportunity. It does not mean that you need to be buying calls out of the gate. If we open here, not only will upside be completely fried, if you haven't rallied from here yet, you need, what do you need? You need a fake breakdown. Yes, you need to come and say hello to my little friend, or even down here, and like trigger major orders. With that said, you can literally catch anywhere between 400 to 800% if we nail the low again. So I want everybody on the moon train fucking glued to their screens, okay, in order to spot, where are you? Tuesday. I want everybody, because it can be subtle, right? I want everybody to be on the lookout for this setup. Remember, boom, boom, gone. Okay? This is what we're looking for. So we need to be looking at a Bollinger Pierce turned green. Okay? The more later in the day, the better. Now, let's say the market is green and we hold and everything. I have just reviewed the open interest, and there's a fuck ton of wishful thinkers in 1200s. That's not where it's gonna go. If it goes, it's gonna go maximum like 1195, and now we're rallying. And I'm just saying, into the split last time, I mean, this has been an epic trade. If it doesn't go any higher, I wouldn't be surprised. But if it goes higher, this is my number one Friday fuckery setup. Just the same shit Lily's been doing, right? Like just fucking grinding up, okay? Another one, very strong. We got the low on this. Keep an eye on Meta. If the market moves higher, OKLO has absolutely torched premiums. Those premiums trade like crack, okay? And Netflix, okay? Not even gonna comment on whatever these, like, what is this? This is like, come on, man. Come on, man. Get it together. So, let's jump over to, let's check the closing GICs. I mean, yeah, this is such a fucking, this is getting ridiculous, this trading already. Oh my god. Let's just check tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. Where are we? We are here. Okay, so you're gonna have a fucking gamma wall right there. Okay, I don't know if we have any news. We do, however. That's a green. That has to be green, right? Even though it's white. 680, that is close enough to our Phantom to take us from there, Monday there, and then miraculously, let's just check Monday if it gives us anything. Monday, yeah, I mean, you could easily in a couple of days rip this higher. By Tuesday be up there. Just saying, it's a possibility. If the sell continues, yeah, I mean, this is sketching me out. It's almost like, oh, just wait for it to drop, just wait for it to drop, and then it never does, and it's like, okay. I don't know if they're gonna put out any of this economic data. You got a bunch of amateurs thinking that all this shit is coming out. It is fucking not. It's just been there for weeks. They just haven't checked the calendar, okay? It's like, we don't have anything tomorrow. I don't know Trump's schedule tomorrow. This, however, is almost like capitulation volume here, okay? So I wouldn't be surprised if Friday or Monday is a absolute cucumber fest. They did say that the dollar is gonna start getting more volatile soon. And then the VIX one, I mean, every single time you've been up here, you've had a huge gap up. Now, for whatever reason, because fuck you, that's why, this fucker opens an hour like at IB session, right? So you go to the VIX and you look at last week's Friday, right? We came all the way up to here and then huge fucking squish. I wouldn't be surprised tomorrow if something similar happens. So that's what I'm on the lookout for. If none of that pans out, then back to the drawing table. But I do think tomorrow you could get capitulation. And also, I mean, this did showcase us down and then a major rally next week, an absolute death, probably on that tariff shit, okay? And here it looks even more like an anomaly. Here you see there's 3, ding, ding, ding. Next time we see ding, 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 let's, yeah. Okay, so tomorrow, Friday, this can go either way. It could get all the way up to here, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, rally. If we get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm fucking buying so many in the money puts and buying popcorn for this shit. However, this looks like a over the weekend news event. And then we wanna load, like I will be buying meta calls far out here. We'll go over all of that, right? That's next weekend's MA video, but I might touch upon it this weekend, okay? So thank you all. It was a pleasure. We had some great SPX scalps and good stuff. Not the greatest day, but I mean, again, a lot of people fucking blew up. We didn't, so God bless. See you tomorrow.